Hello, apparition. Yes, it does sound like a beautiful day. Hello. Oh my god, it is so nice to be back here again. Woo! Okay. Alright, got 3 people to start up. That's pretty good. What I would think is, oh my god. Right now, where we are still in a flashback with Takano's whole backstory, and that her adoptive grandfather is about to present his research to the people funding him, and he's going to say, "Oh yeah, after I present this, I'm going to get people to help out, but we know what's going to happen. He's going to be rejected." And this is probably going to start, Takano off on her mission, and where she ends up going really, really badly off the deep end. It is wonderful to see everybody here, and I would just want to know before I get started if everybody can hear me just fine. When the game audio, when it actually starts, all you can hear right now is birds chirping. And if it's too soft or too loud, and if I'm too soft or too loud, I want to make sure you guys could hear me. So, hey Oe, hey Aaron. Nice to see you. Wonderful to see you guys. Wonderful. So yeah, again, if I'm too soft or too loud, and if the game is too soft or too loud, please tell me. And hopefully today we can actually get through the prologue and into the part where I need this handy dandy little chart here that I was so graciously provided. Thank you. Because I'm curious to see how exactly this is going to work. From what I can see, it's going to be some kind of graph I'm going to have to choose things from. So let's get started with what's going to happen with Takano's grandfather's presentation. Just as I wished. It is a beautiful day. Evening time. My grandfather is just formally, and he walks around in his study nervously. I'm also in my beautiful dress. I've only worn it once before in my piano recital. But I'm not nervous like grandfather. His silly nervousness actually relaxes me. Are they here yet? Grandfather looks up out the window. Then a black car stops in front of the gate. Oh yeah, it's a text file, but it looks like it has chart, like B1, B2, like it looks like I'm gonna read off from like a graph or something. Choices. That's just what it seems like. Back then, a car was a luxury item. I don't think I even had one classmate whose family owned a car. So it is natural that men coming out of the car look respectable. Grandfather and I run out to welcome them. Welcome. I'm Takano. Thank you for coming today. I better take your jacket. I assist too. I'm no longer relaxed. Both my grandfather and I are supremely nervous. Nice to meet you, Doctor. And hello, little girl. Are you his granddaughter? Yes. Miyo, please say hello. Very nice to meet you. I'm Takano Miyo. What a good girl. I'm here in place of Koizumi-sensei. Something came up and he can't make it today. He is very sorry. I see. I'm very sorry to hear that. The one who set up everything isn't here. My grandfather had the treasured wine ready, according to the promise from 2 weeks ago. Everyone, let me introduce you. This is Dr. Takano Hifumi. Dr. Takano. Hey Nagels, how you doing? So nice you could be here. Seriously, awesome. You didn't miss much. We just started. Dr. Takano was a leading person at the Research Center for the Prevention of Epidemics in Manchuria during the war. He has made many advances in developing compound food and compound alcohol as measured against malnutrition and food shortages. Nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me. The men are older than my grandfather. They take off their hats one at a time to greet him. Their beards, expensive-looking canes, and glasses tell me they are higher-up authorities of the society. Grandfather bows to each and every one of them. Everyone, please come into the study. Please excuse the mess. Please come in. Miyo, serve the tea for everyone. Yes. I wasn't nervous at all earlier, but I think I'm the most nervous one now. I'm not the one making the presentation. I'm not the one being criticized. It is ridiculous that I'm this nervous. I don't know if I should use that as my excuse. Because of the nervousness, I spilled the hot water I had ready for the black tea I brought this day. I apologize to my grandfather and start to boil water again. I just need enough for the guests. By the time I have cups of tea and cookies ready, grandfather's presentation is halfway done. It penetrates to the spinal cord through the blood or lymphatic fluid. Then through the cerebrospinal fluid, it reaches the brain. Thanks, Zoe. I'll remember that, or I can scroll up the chat. It's gonna drop me back to the main menu. Jeez. Oof. Okay. Thank you. I've also confirmed many cases of encephalitis after autopsies. Eosinophilic meningoencephalitis is also caused by eelworms. Its behavior is very similar. Grandfather walks around as he points to some formalin jars. Still got it! Looks like those years in biology classes aren't totally go to waste in saying complicated ass names and shit. Alright, let's see. There are over 100 formalin jars with parts of brains in them. They were all very dusty, so I spent a few days cleaning them. So I am rather proud to see the sparkling jars all lined up. However, the symptoms of eelworm are multi-branched.
それとは違い、極めて特有の症状を有しています。
A headache, narcosis, derangement. There aren't any specific symptoms. On the other hand, symptoms of the Hinamizawa syndrome are very characteristic.
それが喉を自らかきむしる自傷行為だとおっしゃるのですね。
You're saying one of them is to rip open one's own throat, correct?
さようです。
Exactly.
これについては死亡直前を知る兵士たちの目撃情報から分かっています。
Some soldiers witnessed it just before their fellow soldier died.
この自傷行為はこれまでに知られてきたどのような病状にもありません。
Such self-mutilation was never seen before in any disease.
南沢症候群独自のものです。
It's only in the Hinamizawa syndrome.
また末期患者にしか見られない行為であることから、これは一部の感染症に見られるのと同じエクソダスであると考えられます。
Also, since that symptom was only seen with terminal phase patients, I think that's an exodus, just like diseases caused by some
感
parasites.
染者の体内で十分に成長し、幼虫を繁殖させた後、ウイルスは体外へ脱出し、次なる感染者を探すのです。
Parasites mature inside of a human body and reproduce, then leave the host and look for a next host. That is goddamn terrifying. That is like some alien shit, but more realistic. Holy crap. Like, they should be thankful that this disease was confined to Hinamizawa. Like, just imagine if this disease had spread to like a major population center or something like that. Like, this could literally be like some kind of zombie apocalypse shit. And I'm sure I'm pretty sure, I know that there is a Higurashi action game, and I'm pretty much betting, now that we know a lot of the details of what's going on, I'm pretty much betting that's the premise behind it. It's a timeline we didn't see.
では、その血液にはウイルスもしくは陽性が満たされているわけであり、貿易の知識のない現地の兵士がそれに触れていたならば、彼らも感染していた可能性があるわけです。
So what do you think about the fact that cases were only with the soldiers from Hinamizawa, even though other soldiers touched their blood, which is full of parasite eggs or larvae?
にもかかわらず、南沢出身者以外の兵士に感染例がないことをどうお考えですか？
Don't you think there was a possibility of them getting infected?
これについては潜伏期間その他を疑ったのですが、
I suspected things like an incubation period, but since it was limited to the area of Hinamizawa, I think the unique local weather had something to do with it. That's true. That aspect of it is like, just imagine, because they're experimenting with it as a bioweapon. Now you imagine it with that restriction lifted, and you really do have a WMD of something freaking absolutely terrifying beyond comprehension.
南沢という地域だけに限定していることから考え、現地の特殊な気候、その他があると考えられます。
And also, it's like, what is exactly the unique weather of Hinamizawa? I really want to know, like, what are the unique conditions, like, that cause this, like, is it like a certain humidity or some certain combination of pollen and like different pollen of different plants? Like, I'm trying to think of what could possibly cause these parasites, who can only live in the combination of a human body as well as, or reproduce rather, in a combination of a human body as well as this unique condition of this area. This is really kind of mind-racking, like how something could evolve for those specific conditions. That's true that she's the queen, but that just brings further questions, and that kind of, I guess that kind of relates to the supernatural aspect of the disease. Because that queen shit just is the freakiest part of the whole thing. Like, given that we know the disease increases your supernatural awareness, and come to think of it, Keiichi's father, in that one tip, it looks like he saw Hanyu. Saw, not just heard, but saw Hanyu. So he must have gotten infected as well. To a ridiculous degree, but yet he didn't show any symptoms at all when he left. Which is really just kind of perplexing now. Yeah, this disease. Yeah, there's got to be more to this disease than just being a disease. Because this whole thing with the queen aspect, like, there's parts of it that make sense biologically, and parts of it that just do not. Like, for one, obviously, it gives you the ability to see and feel the presence of ghosts / demons. The whole thing where it disappears from the body upon death, indicating that in the magical aspect of the disease, it possibly follows your soul or something. Like, maybe it requires the presence of a soul in a body. Like, you know, it's really kind of some kind of... I'm sorry, I'm just trying to parse this through, like, because he goes into such scientific explanations of the Hinamizawa syndrome, but which kind of makes you forget that there is a supernatural aspect of the disease, and I'm just trying to suss out where one begins and the other ends, because the detail that he's gone into in describing this disease is absolutely fascinating. And when I try to think too much about it from a scientific perspective, I get caught up on the supernatural aspects and vice versa, as you can see by when I've been going back and forth. And so it's really, really interesting, and I can't wait to see, like, more of an explanation to the queen thing. Like, that implies that it's a more advanced kind of organism than a simple, well, it is a parasite, so it's at least a bacterium. But it implies that there's some kind of... And we know from chapters that where the disaster did happen, that, yeah, but since... That actually reminds me. The theory that everybody would go berserk if the queen died did not seem to hold water in the Watanagashi and Miyakashi chapters. Because Hinamizawa lived in those because Takano didn't get to do her whole god succession plan because Rika died early. So... But everybody didn't go berserk. Huh. So at least that part of Irie's theory, I don't think is true, because we saw in the Miyakashi and Watanagashi chapters that with the Furude family line snuffed out, they didn't go berserk. The village just seemed to get along just fine. Okay, jeez. I'm sorry, this is just absolutely fascinating. I'm just trying to think of all the different possibilities of what is going on exactly. You know what? I bet Old Man Takano is probably going to explain some more right now, so maybe I should just continue reading the story. I'm sorry. I think the unique local weather has something to do with it. I'll talk about that in the next chapter, but the old belief of Hinamizawa has...
また辞書で詳しく取り上げておりますが、 ひなみ沢の古い土着の信仰から考え、
ありえないですよ、高野先生。
That can't be possible, Dr. Takano.
ウイルスに社会性があるなど聞いたこともない。
I've never heard of parasites behaving socially. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, from a scientific perspective, this behavior, like, when you're talking about a queen and stuff, that seems much more attributable to at least insects. The maggots? The maggots in the blood, or was that just Rena's hallucination? Or is that like a common hallucination from the Hinamizawa syndrome? Because not everybody who scratched out their throat was due to thinking maggots. Is it a more complex parasite? No, it can't be a more complex parasite than a microscopic organism, because they said it's undetectable in the body after death. And some kind of insect just wouldn't dissolve after it ceased to even if it died.
いえ、ですからこれこそがひなみ沢症候群の画期的な発見の一つでありまして。
No, I mean, that is one of the revolutionary discoveries of the Hinamizawa syndrome. The elderly gentlemen mumbled to each other while pointing at the data. I finally realized things aren't going too well.
高野先生のご考説を賜りながら、先の資料を拝見させていただきました。
We just reviewed your data. First of all, it is simply impossible for parasites to control human
ま
minds.
ず申し上げて、脳内に潜伏したウイルスが人間の思想をコントロールするなど、全くもってありえないことです。
I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Such a find would be revolutionary and terrifying, because, as you see, like, the very first thing that would happen, unless it was even if a public discovery of something like that, is what people would immediately try to use it to do is try to gain control of that, to use it as a shortcut for mind control. Just like a lot of our stuff we use in biology is stuff we've taken from other organisms and repurposed it for our own science, such as PCR, polymerase chain reaction, is a pretty much ubiquitous laboratory technique that revolves around the use of Taq polymerase. And basically what it does is basically we're able to copy any kind of small amount of DNA, as long as it's underneath a certain amount. And with little finagling and trickery and really cool stuff, you can get it to copy even longer strands of DNA. And you can make basically tons and tons of copies of the same strand of DNA, as long as you know the sequence from an extremely small amount of it. And polymerase chain reaction revolves around rapidly heating and cooling the DNA along with several enzymes, including Taq polymerase, to create a chain reaction and just keep on multiplying the DNA. I shouldn't say multiplying, because it eventually goes to an exponential level of where the same... Sorry, I'm giving a science lecture. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm so sorry. And basically, and again, we can copy DNA with PCR using Taq polymerase. And Taq polymerase actually comes from an organism that that survives in hot springs. It's a organism that survives in hot springs. And thusly, it's Taq polymerase, which creates DNA. It builds DNA from little nucleotides, is only active at extremely high temperatures. So we use that as a switch. That's why to turn on and off the replication and the creation of the DNA, and this we get polymerase chain reaction. So you can imagine something like this would be basically we'd break it down, we'd sequence the DNA of these parasites, we'd find out the exact gene and protein that's control, that's responsible for the mind control. Like, this is probably well before. I'd imagine the time period here was in the 60s, where Watson and Crick and Rosalind Franklin are just now all doing their, basically, they've just started all their work on DNA, and we're just beginning to understand what DNA is. So it's kind of a blessing that the story is taking place when it is instead of later on, because I can assure you the very first thing that a modern scientist would do upon isolating this kind of an organism, if it were to exist, would be to sequence the ever-loving hell out of it and basically find out what all the different genes are in it and what unique proteins there are, how they are gonna affect cell cultures of neurons, tested in mice, go through all these. Oh God! And here, I've been lecturing in science for the past 10 minutes because I miss doing science. Oh God! Ah! Okay, back to the story. LHC goes into science mode for way too long. Jeez. Okay. We just reviewed your data. First of all, it is simply impossible for parasites to control human minds.
人間の思考は極めて高度な神の芸術ともいえる脳で作られます。
Human thoughts are controlled by the brain, which is a work of art created by God. Oh, come on, man, aren't you a scientist? Jesus Christ.
また思想というものは人間の思考の中でも非常に上位のものであり、現在の地球上においては人間にのみ許された高度な能力です。
Humans are the only beings who are able to have thoughts on this earth.
それに介在するウイルスがいるなど
You're saying that there are parasites that tamper with that?
考えられませんよ。
Please, that's absurd. In a way, it's almost thankful that this is taking place in the 60s. Jesus Christ, because this kind of thing, if it existed, getting into the wrong hands would be more than a nightmare.
同感です。思想とはつまり、個より全体を優先した考え方とも言えます。
I agree. Thoughts allow one to think about a group rather than an individual.
つまり、社会性を維持する最前提条件なわけですな。
In other words, that is the most important prerequisite condition for a society.
それが遺伝子を残すこと以上の欲求を持たないウイルスごときに宿るわけがない。
Parasites just can't do that. Even biologically speaking, there is no precedent of parasites behaving socially. Yeah.
生物学的にも言って、ウイルス性の微細な生命体に社会性、新社会性が発見されたことは一度たりともありません。
しかし脳内の生命体が宿主の行動に干渉するケースは非常に多く報告されており、
But there are cases of parasites interfering with the host's behavior. That's true. Everybody knows, a lot of people know about cordyceps, especially from The Last of Us. The cordyceps fungus, which works on ants. And there are different species of cordyceps for different insect species that they control, which is a very terrifying thing. You should look up, there's a famous short YouTube video on cordyceps, which is pretty much, it's very similar to this, except it doesn't turn the insect violent. When it controls the insect's mind, it basically makes it stand out somewhere and act differently.
中野先生は一つ誤解をされていますな。
You're misunderstanding one thing, Dr. Takano.
ウイルスが宿主の行動を支配する原理は常に生殖繁殖のためという 極めて原始的理念に基づくものだけです。
The principle of parasites interfering with the host behavior is based on the primitive idea of reproduction.
ハリガネムシに寄生されたバッタの受水自殺がいい例ですな。
And yeah, toxoplasma, yeah. Just like the example you used before, a rat infected with toxoplasma losing its natural instinct to run from a cat is simply a part of the process of switching hosts.
ハリガネムシは十分に成長すると水生となります。その際、宿主であるバッタを水辺へ誘導して溺死させ、その体内から水中へ脱出する。
その通りです。私はひなみ沢症候群における自殺的な喉のかきむしりもそれに当たると考えまして。
Okay, I think there's some extra dialogue here in the original. That's just like a grasshopper infected with a horsehair worm drowning itself. Once a horsehair worm matures, it becomes aquatic. When that happens, it guides the grasshopper to the water and drowns it. Then it enters the water. Now, about the Hinamizo syndrome, if the aspect of the disease that makes people kill themselves and stuff is in fact magical, then all that goes out the water. I really scientifically, I'm curious to see how much of this disease is magical and how much of this disease is scientific.
例えば患部をかゆみでかかせて体外へ脱出するというケースが。
そうです。すべてのウイルスの目的は繁殖のため。
Okay, I think what grandfather Takano just said is exactly. That's the Hinamizawa syndrome suicidal symptom of ripping out one's own throat. For example, guinea bugs get out of the body by having the host scratch the affected area. That's right. The purpose of all the parasites is reproduction. For them to infest a human brain, well, to infest a human brain is one thing. But to infect human thoughts, that's absurd. In fact, that's a dangerous idea.
はっきり申し上げて妄言です。いや、危険思想と言ってもいい。
I don't think it's strange that Hinamizawa... I don't think the dialogue is matching up exactly here. I don't think it's strange that Hinamizawa created his own belief system. There are actually many cases like that all over Japan. So you're saying all of them were due to parasites? That they were all due to cultural reasons, except the one in Hinamizawa, which was caused by parasites? How did you prove that?
ひなみ沢という村が閉鎖的文化から独自の信仰を生み出したこと自体はそう不思議には思いません。日本各地に散見するよくあるケースです。
Okay, they said Nihon here, so yeah, that was just the dialogue I just read out.
だとしたら日本中のそれらの文化はすべてウイルスによるものなのですか？それらは文化的なものであって南沢の県に限ってはウイルスによるもの。その区別をどう立証されたのですか？
Yeah, the fact that if there would be a magical component to this disease, there's no way you could ever really present it successfully to any kind of scientific conference because you never have the data to support what you're what you're saying because it's not real, it's magic.
いえ。ですから現地で死亡したひなみ沢出身兵士の解剖の結果からそうだと信じるに足る様々な
No, as I already said, from the results of the autopsies I performed on Hinamizawa soldiers, I concluded many...
失礼だが高野先生。
Excuse me, Dr. Takano.
信じるに足る臨床データだと語るには
I don't think you've gathered enough case studies to call it a clinical data. That's actually a good point. Basically having a big enough data sample is probably one of the most commonly overlooked things when people are going over statistical results of a scientific paper. Like, one of the first things you should look at if you ever find yourself in the position of reviewing a scientific paper is their sample size. And the trouble is, as you know, if you're trying to get funding, you need getting enough samples, and analyzing all those samples in a timely manner is tricky if you don't have a lot of people working in that lab on said project. So, you know, it's in some ways it can be a catch-22. So, because you need to get funding to get a bigger study, to get a bigger sample size, because sample size is so fucking important when you're trying to statistically prove something.
しかもご自身で言われたように戦場という異常な状況下の話です。
Furthermore, as you said it, it was during the war.
ですから
No, I mean,
次の章で説明しますように、ひなみ沢症候群は疑心暗鬼と緊張、ストレスなどによる微妙なバランスが崩壊したときに、
as I explained in the next chapter, the Hinamizawa syndrome develops when one experiences suspicion, nervousness, and stress, and becomes emotionally unbalanced. Yeah, it's just, there's not enough data.
喉をかきむしるという特徴的かつ異常な自傷行為が複数件あったならば、何かの共通性があるに違いないと疑われるのもユニークかとは思います。
Now, EDA has probably gathered quite a bit of data, but I'd be really interested to look at his data. Jeez. If there are more than a few cases of such self-mutilation incidents, then maybe it would be prudent to suspect some kind of commonality. But that's why it's not accountable.
ですが、だからこそ当てにならないのですよ。戦地という異常な状況下で、たまたまレアなケースが重なっただけのことなんです。
Maybe it was just a coincidence that such rare cases happened under abnormal circumstances like the war.
高野先生は重なった偶然を見てゲシュタルト的な構成主義にとらわれ、法則性を見つけたように錯覚してしまったのではないかと考えます。
Dr. Takano, you may have seen such a coincidence and mistakenly assumed that there was a correlation. Oh god, this is bringing me back. When you're presenting scientific data, this is pretty much how it is. It's very similar to this, basically, experience. They read your paper, you're at a presentation, which is would be a PowerPoint nowadays, and you know, you're going through your slides. I know I often say, oh yeah, like I always get like a question. It's like, oh yeah, what about this and this? And I'm saying, well, it's on the next slide if you just wait. Like, that like happens. Like, I gave a couple of years ago, I gave a presentation on CRISPR, which is something you might have heard of, gene editing in vivo. And I was like, when they ask the questions, like, well, how blah blah blah, it's like, okay, yeah, that's the next slide. And this is just kind of bringing me back to those memories. And so yeah, this is kind of nostalgic in a way. So many things in this story I never expected. This thing is making me feel a lot of different feelings, this story, I have to say. Really, such an incredible story. Higurashi going places you'd never even imagine it would go. Really, really amazing. Seriously. Only made criticism, I have to say, I think Ryukishi likes writing a little too much. Some things can be a bit too wordy, you know, like, but it's just overall a fantastic story. I really love it. Dr. Takano, you may have seen such a coincidence and mistakenly assumed there was a correlation.
そうでないことを証明するには 南沢症候群の感染者に対する膨大な臨床データが必要です。
To prove that's wrong, you would need an enormous amount of clinical pathology data of Hinamizawa syndrome patients. Yeah, yep, yeah. That's exactly what I just freaking said, yeah.
ですが、倫理的に考えてこりゃ立証は不可能でしょう。
But ethically, that's impossible.
出身者がたたりだと了解する行為はどちらかというと文化依存症候群の範疇です。
The native explained things as a curse, but it's more like a cultural bound reactive syndrome.
それに対しウイルスによる意識支配を重ねられることは
And you think that is a parasitic delusional disease? I hate to say this, but I think you admire the belief of Hinamizawa too much, and as a result, you yourself have been taken in by the culture-bound reactive syndrome.
失礼だが高野先生はユニークなひなみ沢の信仰に浸水し、その結果ご自身が文化依存症候群に取り込まれてしまっているのではないかと考えます。
Actually, that happens quite often with people who research things in mysterious fields.
いえいえ、神秘的分野を研究する人間にはよくあり得ることですよ。
We are trying to be careful ourselves.
我々も日々気をつけています。
Sorry, Doc. I shouldn't say sorry. This is such a complicated situation. Grandfather's face is gradually becoming pale. I'm stunned. We've never heard of parasites like that. It was just a coincidence, and there isn't enough data. The talk goes on and on and on, and every time Grandfather says something, they dismiss it. All he can do is be silent.
ただ、どんな発見も最初は理解されないものです。
However, no discovery is accepted at
高
first.
野先生の研究もそのうちの一つでないかと考えます。
I think that this research of yours is one of those.
当時、どんなにバカバカしいと思われていた研究でも、その後、真実が解き明かされ、評価を改められるというのも、これまたよくある話です。
Even if it was ridiculed at first, it may be acknowledged in later years. That happens all the time. I'm just an amateur.
皆さんに比べれば素人です。個人の研究家に過ぎず、一流大の出でもなければ学閥にも属していません。
I'm just a private researcher who didn't graduate from an elite college, nor do I belong to an academic clique.
もちろん権威や研究所へのコネクションもありません。
Of course, I don't have any connections with experts or research centers.
ゆえに個人の研究ではこの程度のことまでしか調べられないのです。
That's why this is all I can do.
果たしてひなみ沢症候群が真実なのか、それとも皆さんがおっしゃられるように私の妄想に過ぎないのか。
Is the Hinamizawa syndrome real, or is it my delusion, like you all say? To find out, I need your help.
それを確かめるためにお力添えをいただくことはできませんでしょうか。
もちろんこれが世紀の大発見になるならば一大センセーションを巻き起こすでしょう。
Of course, if this was the discovery of the century, it would create a major sensation.
何しろ人間の文化や思想はすべてナノ単位の脳内生命体の意志によるもので、前頭葉は彼らを住まわせるだけの場所に過ぎないという。
After all, it says parasites control human culture as well as human thoughts. The frontal lobe of the brain is simply a place for parasites to live. Ah, jeez.
大胆な説なのですから。
ひなみ沢症候群が存在し、その感染者が感染によってその親代様信仰というものに組み込まれることがもし立証できたなら。
If a link between the existence of the Hinamizawa syndrome and the infected people's belief in Oyashiro-sama could be established,
地球上に存在するすべての宗教、いや文化国境さえもウイルスで説明できるかもしれないんですからな。
then it would be possible to explain all the religions, know all the cultures, and the boundaries on Earth.
その話の壮大さはとてもユニークです。
That is such a magnificent and unique idea.
高野先生は我々のような人間にひっそりと論文を読ませるより、それで本を書かれて一般大衆に発表された方がよろしいでしょうな。
Dr. Takano, you should publish your idea so the general public can read about it instead of having us read it quietly. Grandfather is looking down and his fists are trembling a little. This is too cruel. I don't know anything academically. I'm just a little girl. I don't know exactly what they are talking about. Grandfather worked so hard by himself until today. To further his research, he needs sponsors. Yet they are saying his research is simply a delusion. That is absurdity. Just like the question of which came first, the chicken or the egg. Besides, if his research had reached the level those cheeky men want, he wouldn't need their help. But they are saying they can't help unless they see some results that are beyond the level of private research. In any field, doesn't a research start out with just a little idea? If you can prove its existence before you research about it, then what's the point of researching it? If a wild idea can't be the subject of research, how did knowledge make such progress? But never mind that. When Mr. Koizumi came 2 weeks ago, didn't he say they were showing strong interest in his research? And yeah, now she knows the truth that, they also didn't want to stir things up politically by saying that, the freaking whole, basically that whole part of the war was started by this. What's going on here? This is the complete opposite of what he said.
Hi. 非常に興味深い研究だと思っております。
Yes, I think this is a very interesting research.
脳はまだまだ未知の領域です。
The human brain still holds many secrets.
この高野氏の論文は非常にユニークです。
Dr. Takano's article is extremely unique.
特に優生学的見地からは無視できないものが感じられます。
Especially from the eugenic point of view, I don't think we should ignore this. That word. As a scientist, that word makes me shudder and cringe. Ugh. Eugenic. That is probably the most disgusting thing to come out of biological science and people trying to use it for their own thing. Eugenics is the disgusting idea of trying to rank people by their genetics and prove people that and quote unquote prove and show that people are superior or inferior to one another based on their genetic makeup. It's a disgusting and terrifying thing that any scientist should immediately reject. It's a stain on the whole scientific community that it was ever even considered in the long past. Humans are not God's children. Yep, basically, Oe, yep. Humans are simply baptized animals. According to Darwin, each environment has an effect on the progress of evolution. In other words, humans can be either superior or inferior. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. As a nation, we must think how we can keep good bloodlines and how we can leave good genes behind. We have to research that as a national policy, otherwise humans will receive a fatal ranking order in the coming century.
Takano氏の研究は単なる感染症の域を超えるだけのポテンシャルを秘めていると言えるでしょうな。
Dr. Takano's research has the potential of reaching beyond parasitic disease. If it's possible to prove that crime is due to a disease, not genes, then criminals can be treated by surgical means. Oh God. Ugh. You want to trigger a scientist? Massively. This shit right here. I am cringing hard. This is disgusting. As a result, we can leave wonderful people for our future. Oh God. From the eugenic point of view, Dr. Takano's research should get started immediately. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. It's possible that this could be the greatest discovery since the invention of lobotomy surgery. If the causality between the infectious disease and one's nature could be established, this would be more than a Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize. I can't believe I said Nobel Prize. Jesus Christ. Koizumi-sensei, thank you for giving me this chance. Takano-kun is such a single-minded and passionate guy. But he is not good at dealing with people. He's been working on his research all by himself. But now he has hit the limit and he needs help. Please, everyone, listen to what Takano-kun has to say. Oh, please don't, Sensei. We are the ones who should be thanking you for this opportunity. We are already willing to help him. Actually, coordinating the territories of the society is a more urgent matter. I would like to thank you for giving me an opportunity to be involved.
この年になってこのような貴重な幸運に恵まれたのを感謝したいです。
In such a unique research project at this age. There's a knock on the door. The sliding door opens and the owner peeks in.
失礼いたします。
Excuse
お
me,
客様がお見えになっておりますが、お通ししてよろしいでしょうか。
there is someone asking for you. May I bring him in?
客
Someone?
はてどちら様ですかの
Who could it be? The owner whispers into his ear, and his face suddenly turns pale.
お通ししてください。
Please!
いやいやいや、私もお迎えに上がります。
No, 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 I'll come with you. As Koizumi stands up, the footsteps reach the door.
先生、
Sensei,
このようなところへお越しいただけるとは。
I didn't expect you to be here.
小泉君、ご無沙汰だな。
Koizumi-kun, long time no see.
今日はちとどうしても君にしておきたい話があってな。
I have something I need to tell you today.
はい、体温ある先生の話とあっては聞かぬわけには参りません。
Yes, if you need to tell me something, I'm all ears.
何でもおっしゃってください。
Please. Koizumi isn't someone of a low status. Although he is already retired, he is still powerful enough to be influential. From his meek attitude, it's easy to figure out what kind of person this man is. The old man walks as he holds on to his bodyguard's shoulder. He has an expensive-looking cane in his other hand. He can't even walk on his own because of his old age, but his dignity and intensity are still very strong.
単刀直入に言う。
I'll be direct.
君の友人の研究な。あれ、やめさせなさい。
Your friend's research? You need to stop that.
はと申しますと。
Huh? What do you mean?
小泉君、
Koizumi-kun.
ひなみ沢症候群は墓場まで持ってかなきゃならん。
He must take his knowledge of the Hinamizawa syndrome to his grave.
あれに手をつけちゃならねえんだ。
Nobody should touch it.
あれを調べるとな、野望をつついて蛇を出すかもしれん。
If anyone looks into it,
しかも太くてでかい蛇をな。
if you poke a bush, a snake will come out.
君がこのままガブリとやられるのを黙って見とるには忍びないのでな。
It'll be a huge snake, too.
ちょいと君の小耳に入れてやろうと思って今日は来たんだ。
I can't just watch you get bitten by it.
それの先生方にはお待ちいただいて。
Okay, Oi. Thank you so much for being here, seriously. Thank you. Have a good time at work. Okay? I'm sorry for delaying. I haven't gotten too far in the story, but this is like the scientific aspect is on of Higurashi is on full display here, and it's absolutely both fascinating and terrifying me in different ways, which is something I never expected in a million years when I started this story. To have this something I would be to have this be something I would look at from a scientific perspective. I can't just watch you get bitten by it. That's why I'm here to tell you something.
どうだ。ちょいと向こうの部屋でわしと飲まんか。
Can your friends wait for a little? So how about it? Do you want to have some drinks with me in a different room?
はい、
Yes,
お供させていただきます。
I'll come with you. Koizumi realizes that this is pressure. He doesn't know what direction it's coming from, but some elders don't feel good about the research of Hinamizawa syndrome and trying to stop him from backing up this research.
小泉君、分かっているかね。この研究はパンドラの箱だということ。
Koizumi-kun, do you remember the Roko Bridge incident? Yep, and here we go, yep.
全くの世まい事ですな。
This is just nonsense.
本日私どもがお邪魔したのは資料になかったそれ以上の客観的何かが開示されるかもしれないことを期待したからです。
We came here today expecting to hear a more objective side.
本来ならば本日お邪魔するにも値しない内容だったのを小泉先生たっての願いということで義理を尽くさせていただいたまでです。
Normally we wouldn't come all the way here for something like this, but since Koizumi-sensei asked us, we didn't have a choice.
灯籠ではありましたが、来て正解でした。
This really was a waste of time, but in a way it was a good thing
あ
we
なたに
came.
適切なアドバイスをすることができるのですから。
We are able to give you some advice.
あなたは余生をこんなことに費やされるくらいなら、盆栽でも始めなさい。
You know, if you are going to spend the rest of your life on some worthless research like this, why don't you take up bonsai? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ouch. Damn.
いいですぞ。
Bonsai is great.
同感です。
I agree.
こんな書斎にホルマリンの瓶を並べていても不健康なだけですな。
It's not healthy to just stare at formalin jars in this study.
しかし実にユニークな内容でした。
But it sure is a unique subject.
あなたさえ良ければ出版社の社長を紹介しますよ。
If you want, I'll introduce you to the chief of a publishing company.
大衆にはこのくらいの刺激があった方がウケるでしょうからな。
The general public loves things like this, you know. They don't even try to hide their hostility. They laugh at grandfather, denounce him, and keep saying things to deny not only his research but his personality as well. If they're simply provoking him, any response will just prove them right. Grandfather tries to be a superior researcher as well as a proud existence. He's no longer trembling. On the contrary, he apologizes to them for taking up their time and tells them he has no intention of keeping them any longer.
この論文はお返ししますよ。
We'll give the article back to you.
もっともこれを論文と呼んでいいなら学会もどれだけ気楽なことか。
It'd be so much easier if we could actually call this an article. Ouch! Writing a scientific paper is extremely hard work. It's nothing like writing even a school report or anything like that. Like, if anyone's ever attempted to, it's like something really, really extensive. Like, you can do experiments for months to maybe just get like one paragraph and paragraphs worth of data and a single figure out of maybe like 50. Like, at least in modern scientific literature. Yeah, making that's why researchers often work in teams, and making a scientific paper is absolutely brutal work. One of the elderly gentlemen tosses the article back. Grandfather can't catch it. The article he works so hard on falls to the floor. And the papers scatter on the carpet. Yeah, no, they're being real ridiculously rude about it. He's just like this old guy who's done this on his own, which is incredible. that he's been able to do this on his own, first of all, without, like, he'd have to buy his own equipment, take care of his own PPE, personal protective equipment, and sterility in the lab and all that kind of thing. Really, for someone to do that on their own without the funding of a corporation or university is really, really incredible that he could even get as far as he did. Although part of me is thankful that they're not funding his research, because it would have led to absolutely terrifying and monstrous things in the hands of these people that he would no doubt be giving it to. At the same time, I feel sorry for him as a person. And, you know, like, as a researcher, it's just, you know, really heartbreaking to have a paper rejected, especially after all the hard work you can put into it. And to be denied funding. It's like one of the reasons why I didn't even want to become a PhD. I'd like to stay as a master's. Is that, you know, I didn't want to spend my whole life trying to defend papers and beg for money for grants. Like, you know, that's one thing I just really didn't want to do. And okay, back to the story. I'm so sorry for going on so many tangents today. Seriously, I'm so sorry. The elderly gentleman leaves the study without even apologizing for it. Everyone else follows him. As they leave, they step on Grandfather's article. Oh, come on! Jesus fucking Christ. Grandfather's expression doesn't change. But I see things warp. I see the wall behind Grandfather warp. I jump. I grab onto the elderly gentleman's leg. I don't hate him. If I were asked if I hated him or not, the answer would be yes. But that's not the point here. I can't stand this foot that steps on my grandfather's article. Oh my god, a vocal song. It's really quiet. I don't know if you guys could hear it well. Let me see. Can you guys hear this okay? Can you hear the lyrical song? Don't step on it. Don't step on it. Grandpa worked really hard. Don't step on it, please. I just want to move the foot that is standing on the papers. But the foot doesn't move no matter how hard I push or pull. As if it's rooted to the floor. Then I feel someone grabbing me from behind. It's Grandfather.
孫が失礼をいたしました。
Tell me if this is too loud, voice-wise. Please excuse my granddaughter.
さあどうぞこのままで結構ですので。
Don't worry about this.
後片付けは私どもの方でしますので。
We'll clean this up. Don't! Don't step on them! I'm telling you not to step on my grandpa's article. Again, tell me if the voice or music or anything is too loud. It is. And I'll turn it back down. My scream doesn't mean a thing. They completely ignore my scream. They continue to step on the papers and leave the study. Only grandfather and I are left. My grandfather is still grabbing the back of my collar. I don't have any words coming from my mouth. I'm just crying. But my grandfather is determined not to show his emotions. He doesn't even move his mouth. Oh God. So I believe I have to cry for him. My grandfather slaps my face. I'm startled. I'm crying for him. So why does he slap me? Then I understand. Grandfather is the one who wants to cry, but he's enduring. So I shouldn't cry either. I wipe my eyes and my runny nose. Then I look at the papers on the carpet silently, just like grandfather.
ごめんだ、ミオ。
Sorry, Hio. I thought he was going to complain about their rudeness.
もっと私がしっかり研究できていれば、こんなことにはならなかったの。せっかく今日までミオがあれだけお手伝いをしてくれたのに。
Until today, you helped me so much for nothing. Sorry about that.
それを無駄にしてしまって。
How courageous he is. Even after the disaster. That disaster, he is still concerned about me. I shake my head and put my hands on the floor. These were all handwritten by my grandfather. He was so happy that finally there was someone who understood his research. He was so happy. He spent all his night writing these, but they stepped on them. They might as well have stepped on his grandmother's spirit.
私の研究がまだまだ足りなかったんだ。
I didn't work hard enough.
もっともっと研究を重ねていたならこんなことにはならなかったんだ。
If I hadn't done more, this wouldn't
ご
have
めん
happened.
な。
I'm
本当
sorry.
にごめんな。
I'm so sorry.
おじいちゃんはもっともっと研究を重ねるからな。
I'll work even harder.
これくらいのことじゃくじけないからな。
I won't give up because of something like this. I don't know if he said that to me or himself.
大丈夫。 神様は見ておられる。
Don't worry. God is watching.
そして自分が評価されることを疑ってはならんのだ。
Don't worry. God is watching. I have to believe that I'll be recognized.
いつか必ずきっと評価されるから。
That day will come someday.
その日まで努力を怠ってはならんのだ。
That's why I have to always be working. Grandfather says that all the time. But I know. God only plays with people's fate. He doesn't save out of goodwill. That's why he let this happen to our grandfather. To grandfather, sorry. Though he worked so hard and so humbly until today. That's why he let this happen to my grandfather. That's why he let such a horrible thing happen to me when I was still just an innocent young little girl. Grandfather keeps repeating, but I know. God exists. The existence grandfather believes in exists. But there's no mercy. He delivers an unreasonable fate and makes us call it a challenge. I can't tell grandfather that, of course. I ask God once more, like I did on the day of the thunderstorm. Sorry you guys, just I gotta go take care of something for a little while. I will be back soon. Okay? Bye for now. I will be back very soon. This has been a very interesting stream so far.
旅路は片言に絶望を繰り返し聞かせた残された情景に未来を重ねられず終わりを選ぶ意味を過去が照らしてくれる黄昏れてゆくこの空の全てが愛しいのみ生きる意味さえ見失うささやかな喜びもなく道端に咲いた命も眩しさがにじむ明日も今はただうつろにさまようだけ空さえも否定をする父母が笑い手を振るめくるめく日々のかけらが残酷な仕打ちで嘲笑えば音もなく崩れ落ちるただ流るままにもう誰の声もない行き止まりの旅路は片言に絶望を繰り返し聞かせた残された情景に未来を重ねられず終わりを選ぶ意味を過去が照らしてくれる黄昏れてゆくこの空の全てが愛しいのみ生きる意味さえ見失うささやかな喜びもなく道端に咲いた命も眩しさがにじむ明日も今はただうつろにさまようだけ空さえも否定をする父母が笑い手を振るめくるめく日々のかけらが残酷な仕打ちで嘲笑えば音もなく崩れ落ちるただ流るままにもう誰の声もない行き止まりの旅路は片言に絶望を繰り返し聞かせた残された情景に未来を重ねられず終わりを選ぶ意味を過去が照らしてくれる黄昏れてゆく 旅路は片言に絶望を繰り返し聞かせた残された情景に未来を重ねられず終わりを選ぶ意味を過去が照らしてくれる黄昏れてゆくこの空の全てが愛しいのに生きる意味さえ見失うささやかな喜びもなく道端に咲いた命も眩しさがにじむ明日も今はただうつろにさまようだけそれさえも否定をする父母が笑い手を振るめくるめく日々のかけらが残酷な仕打ちで嘲笑えば音もなく崩れ落ちるただ流るままに
Okay, and I am. Let me get back into a better position on the microphone. I am back, everyone. Let's see where this goes. I think, unless it's going to end pretty soon right here, I think we're only going to get up to the end of the prologue. I am getting more and more determined to finish the prologue of this story. At least you guys have had the lovely vocal song here playing in the background during the intermission. Let's get back to the story. Why can't you give grandfather a fair evaluation for all his hard work? Grandfather tells me that he'll gather the papers, so to put away the teacups. I nod silently and put the teacups that haven't even been touched onto the serving cart. As I push it out of the study, grandfather tells me. He tells me to close the door after I leave. I always close the door when I leave. He doesn't need to remind me, but that's what he wants, so without saying anything, I close the door. Then, as I walk away from the study, I hear grandfather sobbing. Oh, God. Tears fill my eyes again. Sadness and disappointment. I didn't do that to the sound, it did it on its own. I almost feel angry with myself for not being able to do anything for him. Then I feel a cool breeze on my wet cheeks. That's the breeze coming from the cracked open window. The curtain is flapping gently. I hear the cry of the Higurashi. As I listen to them, I calm down gradually. If I can erase grandfather's pain by crying, I'll cry in his place. But that won't help. On the contrary, he started to cry because I cried. I'm being useless here. I remember that day. I remember the reason why I'm alive now. If he hadn't come and saved me, I would have spent the last days of my life as a piece of meat in the shape of a human, lying in the corner of the bathroom. Oh God, oh God, oh God. It's horrible, oh God. Grandfather saved me. He gave me back my rights. The right to walk, the right to stand up, the right to wear clothes, the right to eat, the right to speak, and the right to think. In other words, the right to live as a human being. Grandfather took action right after the phone call from me. He found my house, and he found out which orphanage I was sent to. After going through the sloppy paperwork of the government office. Then he saved me. Of course, he was working on his research then. He spent his precious research time to save me, a stranger. I vowed that if his heart failed, I'd rip my own heart out and give it to him. But of course, his heart is fine. So he doesn't need a heart. He needs something else that's equally important. That's something only I can give him in this whole world. I clench my fists and hold them so tightly that my nails leave marks. I now know what it is I'm supposed to do with this new life as Takano Miyo. I finally know. I know the reason why the new me was born. I know the purpose of Takano Miyo.
それは
To fulfill a wish and leave a distant future. To the strength of a string is how strong your will is. A noble and strong wish will come true. Sorry for talking over the voice. I know that's gonna also...
地球よりも重い
Sorry. I'm sorry for talking over the voice. I knew that was gonna auto-scroll. I thought I knew my grandfather's greatness, but I actually didn't know it all. Oh, this song! I found this as a BGM, actually. Oh, before hearing it in the game itself. Oh, I really like it. Jeez. I honestly, I love leitmotif, and when they remix a leitmotif for various reasons to evoke different emotions, I love that. That just hits me right in the heart. I really love leitmotif and its different use. For me to be able to really help him, I have to reach his level. All the subjects lead to grandfather. There's nothing I can ignore. To study hard is what I can do for grandfather right now.
I've
been a teacher for a long time, but I've never seen such a hard-working student.
かといって決して勉強のみに視野が狭くなることなく、社交性も身につけ、多くの友人を作った。
You have learned not only academically, but socially as well. You made lots of
勤勉
friends.
なのは勉強することでしか至れない私の目標があるからです
I have a goal that only I can reach by studying
社
hard.
交性をおろそかにしないのは孤独な天才があまりに無力であることを知っているからです
Also, I know how powerless an isolated genius is. That's why I need to learn to socialize. That's not enough.
私はまだまだ自分の望む姿に至れていないんです
I'm not even close to where I want to be.
大学に入るのなんて私にとっては単なる経過に過ぎない
Entering college is only a step forward.
そこで何が学べるかなんです
What matters is what I learn with there. I'm not even close. I'm not even close to being able to help my grandfather.
先生は君を教え子に持てたことを誇りに思う。私立大でも国立大の医学部でも好きに選びなさい。
I'm so proud of you. You can go to Tokyo University or Ochano and Mizo University or any college of your
今の
choice.
君にとって倍率など何の意味もない。
Nothing will stop you.
君にとって学ぶに値する学校であるかどうかだけが大事だ。
The most important thing for you is that the school will teach you what you want to learn.
願いを成就し
A big decision inhabits a tiny soul.
紡がれる糸の
If
強
my
さ
life is heavier than
意
the
志の
earth,
強さ
then my decision is heavier than the earth.
必ず現実となる
Sorry, again, I have no choice but to read over that because it makes the game, both original and the PS3, has the bright idea that should just auto-scroll. Okay. Do I have what I need to be able to really understand the Hinamizawa syndrome and to help Grandfather in his research? I don't need a compromise or an excuse. My goal is high and challenging. This isn't enough, not even close. My classmates look so stupid, acting as if they're winners in life just because they entered this school. A college is simply a place to learn what I need to know. If this self-proclaimed best school isn't worth my time, I'm not interested.
まさか才女のあなたが伝染病圏に来られるとは思いませんでした。
I didn't expect the talentless women like you to come to this parasite research center.
あなたほどの方なら引っ張りだこだったでしょうに。
Oh, talented. Sorry. I don't know why I read that talentless. I was like, what in the world? I didn't expect a talented woman like you. Sorry, I must have misspoke earlier. I'm sure everybody wanted you, huh?
てっきりもっと見栄えのいい研究に関心を寄せられると思っていました。
I assumed you're interested in something bigger.
私が学びたいこと、研究したいことが伝染病だからです。
I want to study and research parasites.
私は今日ここで学べる資格を得るために勉学に勤しんできました。
I've worked hard to earn the qualifications to study here. Aren't I qualified to learn here?
私ごときでは学ぶ資格はありませんか？
そんなことはありませんよ。
Yes, yes.
入学試験を第1位で突破したあなたを拒むはずもありません。
There's no reason why we would refuse someone who got the top score on the entrance
よう
exam.
こそ伝染病圏へ。
Welcome to the Parasite Research Center.
嫌われがちな学問でね。
People usually don't like our field.
研究者はまだまだ少ない。
There aren't too many researchers.
だから他の学問に比べて未知の分野が多いのです。
That's why there are still so many more unknown areas and in other fields. That's right. The world of parasites is an unknown world. Or rather, it's an ignorant world. An ignorant world where there are preconceptions that parasites can't possibly control humans pervades. And those ignorant people laughed at Grandfather and stepped on his article.
伝染病の世界にはまだまだ解き明かされていない未知があります。
There are still many unsolved mysteries in the world of parasites.
私はそれを解くために、
I am here to solve them.
それを解こうとする人の力になるためにここまでやってきたのです。
I came here to help the people who want to solve them.
実現の約束された願いは、
A wish that's guaranteed to come true is not called a wish.
それはつ
It
ま
is fate, not a wish.
りもはや運命。
I weave fate.
私が紡ぐ
Fate is an absolute power to control people
運命は個
and the
人だけ
world,
じゃな
not
く、
just an individual.
人を世
Jeez.
界を支配する絶対の力。
Learning isn't enough for me. I have to be able to research with my grandfather. I don't ignore the means to gain the help Grandfather couldn't get. Grandfather's research doesn't end when it gets completed on a desk. I need the help of lots of people to present it, so his great work will be praised.
そうです。
That's right.
当会は大学院の首席卒業生のみに入会資格を与えている同窓会組織です。
This is an association only the top graduates of the Imperial University are allowed to join.
毎年7人の入会者のみしか認めておりませんので、一般的な同窓会組織と比べると小規模ですが、その結束は比べようがありません。
Therefore, only 7 people per year are allowed to join, so it is a small group compared to a normal alumni organization. However, its solidarity is unrivaled.
そのような会へお誘いいただき、とても光栄です。
Thank you for inviting me to such a gathering. I'm honored.
私ごときでよろしければ、ぜひ末席を賜れればと思います。
I would like to take the lowest seat.
いえいえ、 あなたほどの実績と経歴をお持ちの方を末席などとんでもない。
Oh my, we can't let someone with such accomplishments and experience take the lowest seat.
先輩方もあなたを歓迎されるでしょう。
I'm sure everyone will welcome you. The cabinet minister and several important government officials, company presidents, and company advisors will be here.
会の名簿には現役大臣、高級官僚、大企業の社長や顧問などが名を連ねています。彼らはあなたを必要とし、あなたが必要とする協力を与えるでしょう。
They'll all need you and they will provide the help you need.
小泉先生もこの会におられたのですね。
Koizumi Sensei belongs to this association, right?
私の祖父の親友だった方です。
He was my grandfather's best friend.
まさかここでまたご縁があるとは。
What a coincidence.
そうでしたか。
I see.
きっと小泉先生もあなたの入会を歓迎されることでしょう。
I'm sure Koizumi Sensei will be glad to find out you're joining. An isolated genius is useless. Oh, I don't need to. Yeah. Narration. People live in a society. A society is made up of connections between people. Nobody can ignore that. I do my best as an individual. And to gain the power that can't be achieved as an individual, I can't deny the connections with society. It's all for my purpose. My only wish is Takano Miyo. That's right. I shouldn't spare any effort.
私の絶対の意志が絶対の未来を紡ぎ出す。
My absolute will create an absolute future.
誰にも邪魔できない。誰にも覆せない。
Nobody can interfere. Aaron. Jeez. Aaron, we live in a society. Ah, that's a good one. Nobody can interfere.
サイコロの1なんて認めない。
Nobody can stop me.
けなげな努力が偶然の事故だけで打ち消されるなんて認めない。
I won't allow the die to roll a 1.
すべてのサイコロを6にしてやる。サイコロを神になんか委ねない。運不運になんか委ねない。
I won't admit that diligent efforts can be erased by a mere train accident.
神に祈るのは自らに努力を尽くさぬ愚か者のすることだ。
I'm going to make a die that rolls 6.
私は神などに委ねない。
I
すべ
won't,
ての結果は私が紡ぎ出す。
I won't entrust my die with God. I won't give in to luck.
私の強固な意志が神にさえ介在できない絶対の未来を作り出す。
Only people who don't want to work hard pray to God.
それは祖父が教えてくれた神になる方法とは違う。
I don't trust God. I'm going to create
それは
results.
生きながらにして神に至る方法。
My strong will is going to create an absolute future that God can't prevent.
それに気づいた時私はようやく解放される。
This is a different way to become a god than the one grandfather taught me.
それは両親を失った時の悲しい記憶。
This is a
そ
way
の
to
後の辛い生活。
This is a way to become a god while still alive.
そして論文を踏みにじられた時に見せた
When I
祖父の
realize
涙。
that I will become free.
そう私は神の域を超えるのだ。神の気まぐれなどに負けない存在に。
Free from the sadness of losing my parents and the miserable life after that.
祖父の研究を認めさせてやる。
Free from grandfather's tears when his article was stepped on. That's
そ
right.
れは私が望む未来。約束された未来。
I will be above
人
God.
々は祖父の論文を奪い合って読み合う。
I'll be an existence that God's caprices can't touch.
かつてないがしろにされ踏みにじられたその論文をうやうやしく手に取って読むのだ。
I'll make people acknowledge grandfather's research.
たとえその日を待たずに祖父に死が訪れたとしても
That is the future I wish for.
その程度の運命に私が泣くことなどないのだ。
The future I would promise would come to
だっ
pass.
て祖父はすでに私に教えてくれている。
People will fight over grandfather's
た
article.
とえ死んで土中に埋められた身であっても復活できることを。
People will respectfully read the same article that was once ridiculed and stepped on.
私が祖父の偉業を完成させ、世界中が祖父を称える。
Even if grandfather dies before that day comes,
その時、祖父は復活を遂げ、神となり、永遠となる。
I won't cry for something like that.
それは永遠の絆。どんな交通事故でもちぎれない。
My god, her voice is becoming more and more unhinged. Because grandfather already taught me.
神がいくらサイコロの1を並べようとも、
Even after being buried, one can be revived.
両親を事故で失った日から、私の人生はすべてサイコロの1だった。
I'm going to complete his great work, and the whole world will praise him.
私はそれに負けず、ここまでやってきた。
That's when grandfather will revive and become a god. He will be eternal.
サイコロの目など私は超越する。
That's an eternal bond.
サイコロの目は私が決める。
A bond not even a train accident can break.
運命すらも私が決める。
A bond not even a die that rolled a one can bother.
くじけぬ絶対の意志で。
The day of the train accident, my dice kept rolling a one. But I didn't give up. I kept working hard until today. Oh, okay, her speech continues in the original. Her speech continues in the original. I'll rise above the die. I'll decide what to roll on the die. I'll decide my own fate. I'll do that with my unshakable willpower. Okay, yep. It continued a bit longer than the original. Okay, who's this speaking here? When does the clinic open? Is there going to be air conditioning? I heard it'll open next month. I hope to be a young doctor. I heard some old ladies talking when I was going up the stairs to the shrine. The EDA clinic is already completed, and it's waiting to be opened. The state-of-the-art equipment has been delivered, and its research is waiting to be started as well. Of course, EDA is standing by at its best condition, and he's almost as passionate as I am about the Hinamizawa syndrome. The Mountain Hounds. The counterintelligence units to support the research are already stationed at a dummy company somewhere near Okonomiya. They are getting in touch with various public institutions. Everything is going well. The only thing to worry about would be those meddling kids, would be those rumors about Hinamizawa's dam construction project. There's a rumor that says they plan to build a dam that will submerge Hinamizawa and the surrounding area. The plan came from the Ministry of Construction, and pressure from the different directions is being applied. None of my contacts have much influence on the Ministry of Construction, so things aren't going well. Even if applying pressure doesn't work, there are other measures, so either way it'll come to a deadlock. I'm not being optimistic. I just know that that's how it'll end. I'm going to conduct research here in Hinamizawa. I'm going to accomplish that with my absolute will. That's why, even if God rolls a 1 on the die, and he says he's going to submerge Hinamizawa, I will not be afraid. I won't entrust my die with God. I'm the one to pick up the die, and I'm going to roll a 6. I didn't come to this shrine to declare war on the god of this place. I came because I know there is a great viewing spot here. I walk by the shrine and head to the spot I found last time I was here. It's a perfect spot to overlook the entire village. The strong wind reminds me that I'm only at the starting line, and there will be a headwind before I reach my goal. I overlook the village without faltering in the wind. Grandfather approached the Hinamizawa syndrome from a medical point of view, but he also approached it from a folklore point of view as well. The strange beliefs of this village are proof that the existence of the Hinamizawa syndrome was already known in ancient times, so it'll be extremely meaningful to research it. My grandfather hasn't been researching for hundreds of years. But this place has been here for hundreds of years, and they've been living with the Hinamizawa syndrome for that long. The belief created by this place and the legend itself by the foremost researchers. It is simply stupid to call them old. Just old folk tales are nonsense. I've been researching them slowly, but they are indeed very interesting. No wonder grandfather was intrigued by them. The Hinamizawa syndrome has many interesting sides. It's just like a kaleidoscope. With a change of an angle, it shows infinite glitter. It is so much fun to trace grandfather's research. Finding the same research result as grandfather reminds me that I am indeed following in his footsteps, which makes me very happy. This shrine enshrines Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity of this village. But this god the villagers admire is simply a delusion that was created by parasites. When I solve the secret and announce it to the world, the god of this place will be no more. That's the moment I take revenge on the one who put me through misery and tested my fate. I get it. This isn't just to make my grandfather's dream come true. This is also to take revenge for my unfortunate life. I'm back in front of the shrine. I see an offering box, and I'm tempted to throw in some coins. But you put in coins to ask for mercy. I don't entrust my fate with God, so I don't need to give an offering. I'm going to unmask him. But until then, Oyashiro-sama is a god. Okay, in that case I'll show respect for now. As a declaration of war, I pull out a 10-yen coin from my pocket. The 10-yen coin I found in the telephone box changed my life. If it hadn't been there, my life would have ended then.
あの1枚の10円玉に関してだけはあなたに感謝するわ。
I'm grateful at least for that 10-yen coin. I'm not grateful to the god enshrined at this shrine, though.
でもね、
But
あの程度で私はあなたを許したつもりなんてない。
I haven't forgiven you yet.
そして私はあなたのご利益なんか期待せず、自分の努力だけでここまでやってきた。
I never expected anything from you. And here I am, because of my own hard work.
今後あなたがどんな理不尽な運命を与えようとも、サイコロの位置を出し続けようとも、
Even if you keep playing tricks of fate on me, or keep rolling a 1 on the die.
そんなものにはびくともしない。絶対的に強固な意志の力で。
That won't bother me.
私の理想を勝ち取ってみせる。
With my strong will, I'm going to get what I want. My grandfather will be praised and become a god because of the research I'll do in this place. I will defeat the god of this place and become an existence above God.
いつから私は神という言葉にこだわるようになったのかしらね。
Since when did I care about God, huh?
祖父がいつも神様を引用した話ばかりするからかしら。
Maybe it's because grandfather often talked about God. Here, this is the 10-yen coin you gave me before. I don't owe you anything anymore. You remain where you are and keep challenging people in your ill manner. I'm going to challenge you now to defeat you. I offer a 10-yen coin as payback to God. Huh? For a moment, I don't understand what happened. The 10-yen coin was supposed to fall into the offering box. But, how can I explain this? That's not what happened. I aimed right. Who could miss an offering box anyway? That's not it. Because the 10-yen coin stopped in mid-air, as if it got stuck in a spider web. Holy shit! Is Hanyu doing this? Then it bounced back to me and fell by my feet. Oh my god. I would be freaking the fuck out. Jesus Christ. It was as if the offering box refused the coin. Was that God that spoke to Takano when she was a child? Was that Hanyu? I don't know if it was Hanyu, but it very well could be. And if it was Hanyu who was saying pitiful child, that does fit in with my theory that Hanyu's whole is just a mask. It's not her true self, if that is Hanyu. Or it could be some kind of rival to Hanyu, like I speculated. I think it would be kind of ironic if Takano, who's this mastermind who is all about, oh, I'm so in control of my own fate, I have such a strong will, if she had ended up being manipulated by a god or some kind of being this entire time. Wouldn't that be like some kind of delicious irony? If all of her actions were nothing but the result of some kind of machination of some kind of higher being. It was as if the offering box refused the coin. Of course, an offering box is to respect God, but what I did was to challenge God. That means this is... I jump, because I thought I was the only one here. anyone would jump to find there's someone else standing unexpectedly. True, that wasn't in the original, so its authenticity is questionable. What a very interesting thing to add something like that. But it had to be important, otherwise why would it be added? Maybe it was adding in some extra foreshadowing to something that beforehand might have seemed to come in out of nowhere. Holy fuck! What? 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 What the hell? What the fuck? Holy shit! What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. True, Shadow Tomberry, the PS3 version cut out. Takano can see Hanyu. Has she seen her the entire time? Oh my god. Oh my god. So that was Hanyu who blocked the coin. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, apparition. Okay. You do what you gotta do. Thank you so much for being here for so long, you know? I'll see you later in the recording. Bye, apparition. Bye. How long has she been there? It's like she came out from the shrine. A mysterious girl is standing on the other side of the offering box. She's wearing a shrine maiden costume, so she must be one of the caretakers. But there's something else. Yeah, you can see her freaking demon horns. She's not just one of the shrine people. She is the shrine itself. Because the girl is staring into my eyes. No, she's glaring. I smile fearlessly. I think she heard my challenging words to God. And she's wearing that expression on her face. Because of that, the words come out naturally. Yeah, because the Hanyu we know would be going on, oh, don't make fun of me, oh, like, yeah, this, I knew, Hanyu, yeah, that, for whatever reason, she is trying to deceive Rika into thinking she's weak-willed. Yeah, jeez. I knew she wasn't all on the up and up. The words come out naturally.
あなたがここの神様ね。
You are the god, aren't you? Now, if I was Takano right here, I would be going absolutely fucking nuts. Like, just think, like, just questioning everything. Like, first of all, since she knows about Hinamizawa syndrome, she would be thinking she has a hallucination. And like, but the coin was blocked and everything. But you know, who knows why that happened. And like, seriously, I would, oh my god. And the girl doesn't nod. But I take that as a yes. That also could mean that she's not a god, but Rika could possibly be the true Oyashiro. And Hanyu is something else entirely. What a contradictory emotion. I denied the god of this place, and I'm even challenging its existence. Yet I don't doubt this girl is the god. Exactly, that is an extremely contradictory emotion. It is. The girl speaks.
強い意志は運命を強固にします。
I knew it. I knew it. This is not the oh Rika, oh. This is not that Hanyu. You heard that voice. Again, this is Fulbright and Blackquill from friggin' Dual Destinies, Phoenix Wright all over again. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. A strong will reinforces fate.
そうよ。
That's right. That's what I say to myself often. I've never said that to anyone or quoted it from anything. So under normal circumstances, I should be surprised to hear this girl say that. But this girl isn't human, so I'm not surprised. I was right! Takano does know about magic, but she doesn't give a shit. Jeez, okay. I speak to her.
神は運命のサイコロを振り、その出目で人間をもてあそぶ。
God throws the die of fate and has fun with people, depending on what he gets.
でも、人間には意志の力があるわ。
But people have willpower.
その力が強ければ強いほど、サイコロの目などに人は縛られない。
The stronger the willpower, the less chance of being bound by the result of the die.
わかる？
You see?
人は極限まで努力を積み重ねることで、誰にもくじかれることのないくらいに強固な意志を持つことで、サイコロの目に左右されない力を得るのよ。
People can gain a power that's strong enough to fight fate by working hard to the limit.
はい。よくわかりますのです。
Yeah, this is not... Yeah. Yes, I understand that very well.
揺るがない信じる力は、どんな運命もサイコロの目も打ち破りますのです。
An unshakable belief defies the die of fate. Wow, Hanyu. It's interesting that you say the exact opposite shit to Rika. Come on. Seems Purple People Eater here has some kind of... I really want to know her motives here.
そうよ。
That's right.
それはつまり、サイコロにてもてあそぶ神々への人間の復讐。
This is the people's revenge against God, who plays with a die.
神々の干渉を排して、自ら運命を切り開く人間の賛歌。
It's a song of praise of the people who discover their own fate by eliminating God's interference.
どんな不運にも耐えて、今日を努力で獲得した 私の神々しさを知りなさい。
I will not be denied my sanctity for enduring all the unhappiness and working so hard to get where I am today. Meaningful laughter comes out from my mouth. But the girl's face shows a strong will. Her expression doesn't even change a bit.
僕はようやくわかりましたのです。
Oh, we get a CG. I understand very well.
何度繰り返しても決して覆せぬこの運命は
No matter how many times it repeats, this fate doesn't change. That is because of your strong willpower. Wait, when is this taking place exactly?
あなたの強固な意志の力ゆえ
Is this implying that Hanyu knew it was Takano all along? Or is this taking place in the world line that's after Minagoroshi? Because if it's the first one, then... because if it's the second one, then that makes sense for her to act like this now. But it's difficult to think that because Hanyu's power is supposedly waning and she supposedly couldn't go back too far in time to do the reset. So I'm trying to figure out when this is taking place. Is this taking place in the Matsuribayashi world line or the or in the beginning, like well before everything even started?
そうよ。
That's right.
強い意志は運命を強固にする。
A strong will reinforces fate.
鋼のように鍛えられた運命はいかなるサイコロの目にも動じない。
A strengthened fate isn't bothered by the result of a die.
それはすなわち絶対の未来。
That means it is an absolute future.
それを幾百年を生きる僕たちでなく人の身であるあなたが知るとは
You, a human, found that truth instead of us gods who have been living for hundreds of years.
認めますです
I admit.
あなたは限りなく神に近い場所にいる
Your existence is close to being God.
それは光栄ね。
I'm honored. The girl glares at me with her eyes half shut. No, it's more like she is proclaiming something to me while showing her strong willpower.
僕はあなたに負けない
I won't be defeated.
かつて僕たちはどう戦ってもあなたに勝てないと思った
We always thought we couldn't win against you.
だから僕はあなたに屈した
That was why I surrendered. Okay, so I was wrong. So this is actually, I'm sorry. They're jumping around in the timeline so much. This is actually taking place after. Okay, so this is the world line after Minagoroshi. Okay. So everything I just was theorizing here is invalid because I'm sorry, I didn't know when this was taking place. Give me a break. Okay. That was why I surrendered.
地に落ち輪廻の中を這いずりながらみすぼらしく生きた
I abandoned hope and crawled around in the wheel of life.
でもあの子は気づきましたのです
But then I learned.
信じる力が運命を切り開く奇跡を起こすと
The power to believe creates a miracle of fate.
私の強い意志が作り出す運命にあなたの強い意志がそれを打ち破る奇跡を起こすというわけ。
Are you saying your strong will is going to create a miracle to defeat the fate that's created by my strong will.
道理ね。
That's logical. Because that's the law of this world. A strong will makes a desired future possible. I wonder why Takano's sprite is not here in the original.
僕たちはあなたの意志の強さに負けないのです。
We won't be defeated by your strong will.
古き神の座に執着するのも大いに結構。
That's fine. So you insist on being an old god.
あなたの意志が私の意志に勝てるか試してみなさいな。
Try it and see if your willpower can defeat mine.
神は人を試すが、人が神を試してはならない不条理。
God tests people, yet people aren't allowed to test God.
だからあえてあなたを試してあげるわ。
So I'm going to test you here.
お前の意志の強さが私の意志の強さに勝てるかどうかを試してごらんなさい。
See if your willpower can defeat my willpower. Come on, go ahead. Try it. That is clearly a declaration of war from me to God. This is the start of my revenge towards God, who put me through so much misery. And this girl, this god, is accepting my challenge directly.
僕はあなたに比べてあまりに非力だけれども、
I'm not as powerful as you are.
あなたに比べてあまりにできることが少ないけれど、
I can't do as many things as you can.
たとえ僕の意志の強さがあなたに及んだとしても、それぐらいでは覆せないくらいに圧倒的な力の差ではあるけれども、
Even if my willpower isn't as strong as yours, you're still more powerful than I am.
そうね。私は圧倒的な力を得たわ。
That's right. I've gained an overwhelming power.
その力を得るために今日までどれほどの強い意志を持ち初心を貫徹してきたか。
You have absolutely no idea what I had to go through to gain that.
貴様ごとき小娘では私に指一本触れることもかなわないでしょうね。
You can't even touch me.
分かってる。
I know.
あなたの強大さは分かってる。
I know how powerful you are.
それに比べて私や私の仲間たちの力はあまりにか細いかもしれない。
Compared to you, the power me and my friends command is insignificant.
でも私は諦めないことを選ぶことができる。
But I can choose not to give up.
サンズの河原で永遠に石を積み続けるように、あなたのサイコロに1が並び、私のサイコロに6が並ぶその日まで決して負けを認めず諦めない。
Yeah, this is an awesome song. I agree. Seriously. I won't admit my loss or give up until the day when your die rolls run and 1 and my die rolls 6.
気が遠くなるほどの長い時間、あなたに屈しないことで意志の強さを示してみせよう。
I'll prove the strength of my willpower by not surrendering to you for a very long time.
そして河原に石が積み上がった時、私たちはその川を越えることができ、あなたの前に対等な存在として現れるでしょう。
When the pile is complete, we'll show up in front of you as equal opponents.
その時こそこの長きにわたる運命の戦いに決着がつく。
And that's when this long battle of fate will come to an end.
ならば結構。かかっておいでなさい。
Fine. Come on then!
どちらの思いが強いか。
We'll see who has the stronger will.
強かった方が未来を作る。
Whoever has the stronger will create the future.
強かった方の望んだ未来が訪れる。
The future desired by the stronger will come to pass.
私の未来を一歩も譲らない。
I will hold my ground.
その未来では祖父の偉業は称えられ神となり、かつて私を不幸にて試すような真似をした神に対して復讐をする。
In my future, my grandfather's great work is praised and he becomes a god, and I take revenge on God for testing me by making me go through such unhappiness. Stupid little god! I'll show you.
貴様を神の座から引きずり下ろしてやる。
I'll drag you down from your pedestal.
かかってこい、この
She was saying, I'll drag you down from your pedestal! Oh my god, jeez. Damn, that was the world's longest prologue. Jeez. Holy shit. How many hours did it take to get through that? Oh my god. Oh my god, that was the world's longest prologue. But what an epic ending to a prologue that was. I can see why now. You guys told me earlier Matsuribayashi was like freaking 3 times longer than most normal arcs in series. I can see now. Jesus effing Christ. I'm going to stop here for today just because it's been over 2 hours, which is my usual time, but also I think this looks like an extremely good stopping point. Yeah, it's almost been 2.5 hours, really. And I'd just like to thank everybody for coming. It'll be in 2 days as usual. We will continue back to the 5th dimension, apparently. Oh my god, okay. That is the world's longest prologue, seriously. Woo! Really, yeah, no, it is totally worth it. It is totally worth it. I 100% agree, Shadow Toneberry. Thank you! Thank you for coming, seriously. And thank you for, uh-oh. I clicked it. That's okay, I guess. And, thank you for staying with me and getting through all my boring science lectures. That I was like catching up on during in the beginning. Seriously, thank you all for coming. Everyone have a great night, day, morning, wherever you are. And I just want to thank you and appreciate you so much, whether you're watching live with me or watching afterward. Seriously, thank you. I know these are super long videos, so every view I see, it's like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate someone wanting to see something I made like this. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, I will say goodbye, and that is when we will get to Matsuribayashi proper. Alright? See you next time. Bye.